Hello, welcome back to Let's Play the Journeyman Project 3 Legacy of Time. We are back in Atlantis with our sheet of gold leaf, so now it's time to make our fake medallion.
We have our materials, but we need to melt the gold leaf to really make our medallion look authentic. Where could we find an oven at this hour? Wait a minute. The potter has a kiln. Or is it a kilt? Could it be possible to harden pottery under a man's skirt?
Well, I'm sure something will harden under a man's skirt. See, this is why I like that they don't penalize you for the hints. Because I don't need the hints, but there is some funny dialogue locked behind them, so.
We can use the potter's kiln to fire our medallion and melt the gold leaf over it. And maybe make a nice souvenir for your mom.
And we're going to do exactly what Arthur says now that we have all our materials. And fun fact, I don't think the guard, if you use the same disguise and give him the whatchamacallit, the golden medallion, even if you already gave him a clay medallion, I don't think he'll notice or care. Which is kind of nice. I didn't, we gotta get closer. I just reloaded to save at the same time, but I think it wouldn't impact you. Gold. Oop. Alright, I'm sure I read this last time. Oh. Object analysis item. Gold. Come on. Gold leaf date found. Alright. Yeah, I think I did read that last time, though. I'm not gonna bother messing with that just because it might screw up the program, which is delicate. And you actually don't have to close the door. You can just run it around, and the ambient heat will still be enough that it will turn it gold. And somehow it even gets under the bottom too.
If I knew you were coming, I would bake a cake and learn to sing. Stop me, Gage.
Alright, so let's pick up our golden medallion. And hey, we turned the pots.
Great work, Gage. It came out nicely. This should get us by the guard. You know, I bet we could make a fortune selling these to Atlantean college kids.
So hopefully the pots won't crack and the potter won't have his tomorrow ruined, what little there will be of it. Alright, so now we have medallion. Object analysis, item gold medallion, date found 5th of October 1262 BC, location Mediterranean Sea. This medallion is composed of clay and has been gilded with a sheet of gold leaf. An Atlantean symbol has been pressed onto the medallion's face. Alright, so now let's change our guys to the potter, and now let's see if we can get in the temple. We should be a first-class citizen. We've got our medallion. We should be checking all the checkboxes in the checklist. So hopefully they won't give us grief this time.
What is your destination, huh?
The temple.
I can take you there for 10 drachmae.
He has the best
I'm
faces.
surprised. You're not at the festival? Oh, I thought everyone born on the island would be there today. But then, tomorrow is really the big celebration. So, at least you're not missing everything, you know. Here it is. Oh, hey, take care now, huh?
All right.
Your medallion, citizen? Thank you. Return to your ferry, I will let you through.
right.
Okay, the lock is draining. Let's go now.
Oh, they really like their double-headed axe and bowls. But hey, we got to see the wind pumps in action. We got to see the water lock.
Atlantis has been history's greatest mystery. There have been hundreds of theories throughout time, placing the resting place of the lost continent at the Mediterranean, the Arctic, Central Asia, South America, San Leandro, Winnemucca, north of the Pecos, Lake Titicaca, Sanga, Fire.
Well, thanks for that, Arthur. And we get a really nice view of the inner circle of the city here. There's the wind pump we were on earlier. He seems a little nervous to be here, probably because he's a second-class citizen and he's generally not supposed to be here. The water and the reflections all look very beautiful. There's definitely a lot of time that went into this. And up here, we see 3 cows' heads on like a big golden apple or something with a little udder there or something.
Think they have dollar slot machines here? Because the bull symbol holds a special religious significance, I would say that the people within this temple regard that donut-shaped copper receptacle with some reverence. It may be meant to contain something sacred.
And yea, when the acolyte looked up in awe, he saw the great cows of legend looking back at him approvingly, as if they were saying, "Moo."
Actually, there's 5 cows because I think these 2 things are cow heads too. There might even be more. They might go all the way around. And this is the copper receptacle that he's talking about.
2 words, Gage. Spongiform and cephalitis. I believe the artisans of this temple fell prey to mad cow disease. Remember, we were told that this temple was supposed to have healing water somewhere. Keep looking. With all that sacred bull imagery around the temple area, I would imagine that they store the water close by.
And it is actually, does kind of look like a place that would have dollar slot machines. Very beautiful place, a bit small, which I'm sure is more budgetary than anything else. Beautiful architecture. We can see there's actually like a second level to this, although not accessible to us.
Gage, I bet that the healing water is kept above in that copper receptacle and that pours into the bowl below it. Pulling that cord on the chicken head probably allows the bowl to fill.
And we will take his advice there. I assume everyone's busy with the festivities, which is why we can just go in here and do this. But I do find it kind of funny that we can just walk in here and take a bowl of healing water. And there's like no guards or anything to stop us. We can see there's not much else to do. However, there is a gate here. And we can see it's pouring down onto something. We'll leave that for now. So, we weren't able to get the artifact like we thought. But there is one place left that we have not visited yet.
Where can I take you now?
And that is the windmill.
The windmill.
That'll be 10 Dramoni. Okay, then now. Be careful getting out of the boat.
Alright, so now this is the windmill we escaped from earlier, so let's go inside and explore the base of it, see what we can do. Change our disguise first, though. Actually, yeah, this is fine. First, though, for some amusement, notice that rug there on the floor.
I hate to make aesthetic criticisms in other people's homes, but this rug looks like a beaver exploded. This looks like it should be on Shatner's head. Or it could have been on Ernest Borgnine's back. Nice flat puppy. No real animals were harmed to create this computer-generated rug. If meat is murder, then that rug is at least a severe beating. Ch-ch-ch-chia, floor. Gage, slowly reach for the shears. No sudden movements, it looks hungry. How many human beards had to die to make that rug? The ferocious wig creature from the planet Weave waited patiently, hungrily on the ground, biding its time for its favorite unsuspecting meal, a scrumptious time travel agent. That rug looks like a... Oh, forget this. If you can think of a funny line, please write to Presto Studios, care of everyone involved, but no one who cares.
Yeah, so Matt Weinhold, who is the voice actor for Arthur, is actually a comedian by trade. So every once in a while, and we saw it in the last game too, he'll just kind of go off on one of these tangents, which is always a great joy because he has good lines. So let's just poke around the house and, ooh, what's this? A papyrus scroll.
These are interesting schematics. They seem to be detailing some hidden passageway.
That looks like the center of the wind pump there. And then it looks like floor, that could be water, a pipe, trapdoor, and it looks like they're using the wind pump to open this hatch to go into the tunnel there. And now we will have your guys.
Padros, why have you come? You were supposed to send Ahmed. Quickly leave before you're seen.
Oh. All right. So there's definitely a conspiracy here involving the beggar.
Ah, Kashi, perhaps you can tell me. The ship that was captured this morning, it was from my country. Do you know if the captain has been released?
No, I don't believe he has.
Well then, I have a need of a favor. If you could watch for him, I would be very thankful. I need to see him the moment he is released.
So that's your clue here to take on the guys of the captain, who normally, I guess the way I would play this game, and I think most people would play this game, he'd probably already have his guys on coming in here since he's just kind of like the default guys for most of this area. But just in case, like, you did what we did, where you come from the temple, you're still a first-class citizen, this tells you need to be the captain. So let's see what he wants with the captain.
Looks like nasty weather.
Gage, he said it looks like nasty weather too. Unless the neighborhood calls the same psychic weather advisor, something definitely smells fishy in Atlantis. And it's not the tide. I think he's trying to tell us something, but very subtly. The only thing I can suggest at this point is to wander about and see if any of the other locals know more about this impending nastiness. Why does everyone keep saying that? It looks nice enough to me.
Perhaps, but the windmill keeper must be prepared for the worst.
Well, when in Atlantis, do as the Atlanteans do, I suppose. And just for kicks, I'll add "looks like nasty weather" to your dialogue repertoire as a greeting. Who could we try this line out on? Maybe we could cheer up that prisoner over on the Egyptian boat. We could tell him that a nice torrential rainstorm is coming to clean the deck while he's chained to the ship. Although Atlantis is often thought of as a Greek civilization, there were many anthropologists who believed that Atlantis actually was derived from the Minoan civilization. Judging by their architecture, I think their guess was right.
And hey, there's the wind pump we were on in the, when we originally jumped to Atlantis when it was all destroyed. And you can see the dock is actually right next to, right next to the wind pump with some fancy footwork jumping off of here on the rock. Or if you'd just be willing to take a swim, you could probably get there without needing a ferry. But unfortunately, we gotta take the ferry.
Ah, so where shall I take you now, huh?
The dock.
That will be 10 dromoi, please. You know, in Nubia, we lived on the Great Nile, and we had a saying: the river floods so that life may begin anew. Because sometimes life has a plan all its own, and there's nothing you can do. So you might as well make the best of it. Besides, life is not so bad here. Most of the people are friendly. I have a roof over my head and food on the table. The resistance offered me a chance to leave. I decided to stay. No, this is my home now. Here we are. Oh, watch your step now, huh?
So just for kicks and giggles, we can actually take on the guys of the windmill keeper here, who, by the way, does count as a second-class citizen for reasons you'll shortly see. And now we'll make our way to the ship.
Amun! We thought you lost at sea. Now I see the truth with mine own eyes. Your ship was captured, just as mine has been, yes?
I think the beggar is who he's expecting. We just haven't given him proof that we're the right beggar. It seemed like he was waiting for us to say something. Or maybe he was just expecting something in return for the coins. I've heard it gets pretty lonely out at sea.
Now, Arthur gives that hint regardless of what disguise he used, although it really should be restricted to the beggar's disguise. But you'll see what he means in a minute or two.
How were you captured?
We were returning to Egypt with a full load of silk when my gaze fell upon this godforsaken island. We sailed close for a better look, and by the time we saw the warships, all chance of escape was lost.
Looks like nasty weather.
I've been instructed not to speak to anyone but my contact.
Well, they'll probably be back to release you soon. I must return to my windmill. We'll talk later.
Until then, Amun.
And yeah, that's an early sign that as you learn these passphrases, if you aren't using the right guys, they will simply not talk to you. So let's switch over to the beggar. Oops.
What now?
Looks like nasty weather.
Yes. It may even rain. So you are my contact then. Were it not for these bonds, I would have been able to meet you as planned. But I have spoken to a member of my crew. He will be coming to free me later. Once I am released, I will seek you out.
I think I'm starting to pierce through the dark storm clouds of deceit. It looks like we've stumbled upon an arranged meeting between the captain and the beggar. They're using code words to communicate. I'll add the bit about it may even rain to your dialogue choices. If we play along with this code word game, we may be able to glean some more information. Try visiting the beggar disguised as the captain. When he tells you that the weather is looking nasty, tell him the part about the rain. I must go now.
Very well then.
So now that we're starting to unravel this conspiracy, this is when we really start to, we get a little bit of an exposition dump, as you'll see. If you go to the beggar and use the code word but don't have the right disguise on, he'll just talk to you about how you're putting the resistance in danger and you should leave now and ask who you are. So we won't bother with that.
A few coins for a blind old beggar. Thank you, friend. Looks like nasty weather.
There he goes again with the weather. The rain response that the captain gave us must be the next part of the code. The phrase, "it may even rain," is already among your response phrases. I'm sure that's what the beggar wants to hear. Yes, it may even rain.
Ah, good. I am glad to see that they finally let you off the ship. My name is Padros the Atlantean. Let me start by saying that I make no excuses for my people. They have no right to treat you this way. I wanted to meet with you to give you a chance to escape this prison island. There is an underground network of captives who are willing to risk their lives for a chance to return to their homelands. I have been meeting with them to organize an escape. With my knowledge of the island's inner workings, we have come up with a solid plan. We leave tomorrow, and we would like you to join us.
Why do you call this a prison island?
Yours is not the first ship to be captured by the Atlantean fleet. The people of Atlantis go to such lengths to ensure that their private utopia remains unspoiled by invaders or trade. But what makes it a utopia for native Atlanteans makes it a prison for their second-class citizens. No one is allowed to leave. You will never see your homeland or your family again. Nor will you be granted temple rights.
So, what's your plan?
Your skills were impressed upon me by a fellow countryman of yours, Amun the Egyptian. He will give you the details of the plan, and you can find him at the windmill nearest to us. When he asks about the weather, tell him it is going to be a long winter.
So why should I trust you?
It is true. You have no reason to trust me. All I can tell you is that this may be your one and only chance to escape. If you do not take advantage of it, you may very well regret that decision for the rest of your life.
I don't know. It sounds pretty risky. What if we're caught?
Death will most certainly be the punishment for this crime. But even death is preferable to living as a prisoner.
I'll go now.
All right, so he doesn't give us a lot, but he does give us the next phrase for the passcode. So we can now go back to the the wind pump, and we can give him that code. And he'll give us a little bit more of an exposition dump. And we'll finally be able to learn somewhat what's actually going on here. All right.
Ah, where to now, huh?
The windmill.
That will be 10 dromoi. You are probably wondering, where is everybody? Let me tell you, they are all at the festival. Oh, such a celebration you never did see. I call it the end of the world party. Because the way they carry on, oh boy, you would think that there will be no more tomorrow. I think it's in honor of the Earth Mother, but I don't know much about their religion. Since you're not a native Atlantean, I am sure that the olive oil vendor would be happy to tell you all about it. Okay, this is it. Hey, have a good day now.
And she certainly already has told us all about it. So now we can go back up the steps once I get my bearings. There we go. So let's talk to the wind pump owner again.
Still looks like nasty weather.
Yes, it may even rain.
Padros, the blind old beggar, might agree with you.
Yeah, so if you use the wrong phrase, he points you in the right direction to use that phrase.
The beggar said to tell the windmill keeper it's going to be a lonely, long winter. We should try to use that response phrase.
Still looks like nasty weather.
Yes, it looks like it's going to be a long winter.
Ah, good. Then the beggar has convinced you to join us, Ahmed. How long has it been? 10 years? 12? It is good to see you again, old friend. Well, now you see that my ship was not lost at sea. Surely everyone must think that. But soon, I will be able to tell them the truth myself.
How did you end up here?
In the same manner as you. My ship was captured while on a trading voyage. They brought me back here and haven't allowed me to set foot on a ship since. I had no choice but to find work on the island. Me, a man of the sea, forced to take work as a windmill keeper. Oh, but none of that matters now.
Who is the beggar?
He goes by the name Padros. He is an outcast Atlantean Templar. Many years ago, while only an initiate, he was blinded and expelled from the Order simply because he expressed disagreement with their holding of the Galeth's powers. His harsh punishment was a message to other initiates who felt as he did. Do not worry that Padros is an Atlantean. He is a good man who believes in our cause.
What's the Galeth?
The Galeth is the Atlanteans' most important religious artifact. They foolishly believe it has life-giving powers. So strong is their belief that they keep it hidden from covetous eyes within the inner temple. It is always protected by a guardian Templar.
What's a Templar?
I have never forsaken our beliefs for their religious nonsense, but I do know that the Templars are to the Atlanteans as the High Priests are to us.
There were other initiates who agreed with Padros?
Yes, his best friend Saros finished Templar training and passed the rite of initiation, even though he secretly agreed with Padros. They have not spoken since.
What is the final rite of initiation?
More nonsense. They say the initiates must commune with the Galeth and ask its blessing to become a guardian Templar. Supposedly, if they are worthy, the Galeth grants them eternal life.
So, what's the escape plan?
The plan is to escape the island while everyone is celebrating the Calas Calera. But what's more, Padros and I have uncovered a secret passage to the inner temple. Tomorrow, I will escort Padros through the passage to rescue his old friend Saros and escape with the Galeth. After, we will meet at the outer docks, board 3 ships, and sail away undetected.
It's a bold plan. Let's see how it pans out.
There's an inner temple? Well, where is it and what's your secret passage?
The inner temple lies below the main temple at the bottom of the bay. Always seawater pours down into the inner temple, powering a clockwork device. That water drains out through a pipe that passes beneath this windmill. I've broken into the pipe, and it's large enough to crawl through.
So that kind of explains the schematics we found.
Why is the plan set for tomorrow?
Because forever water flows through the pipe, except during the Calas Calera. They claim the stream is redirected by their Earth Mother. Something about lifting the Galeth in a column of water. Whatever the reason, the channel runs dry for just 1 hour on that day.
What do you mean, rescue Saros?
The sword falls swiftly upon Templars who seek to abandon the Order. Even straying from the grounds is not permitted. Now we've gotten word of our plan to Guardian Templar Saros. He has agreed to allow Padros access to the Galeth in return for helping him escape the watchful eyes of his brethren.
So, what do you want of me?
We request only that you pilot one of the escape ships.
What is the Kalos Kalire?
I do not know much about it, only that it is a rare event. I would suggest you ask the olive oil vendor. She is always willing to spread the tainted seed of their foolish beliefs.
And that's all he'll give us, so goodbye.
I'll speak to you later, my friend.
Please. I must go up to fix the windmill, but you are welcome to stay if you like.
God, for some reason the music seems extra, or just audio in general seems extra staticky today. So it's not just you, it is the game.
The windmill keeper said that he broke into a drain pipe and found a secret passage that leads to the inner temple. Now, for it to stay secret, he must have done his digging somewhere within the windmill, probably under this room.
All right, and he basically locks you out from going back up here. Not that you could anyways with him in the way, but this just like double make sure you can't go back through here, I guess. Boy, it's a long climb up to the top. But yeah, if you have failed to ask him all those questions and then had to come back, he's still here. You just talk to him through this door.
Is there something you need to know, Ahmed?
I'll speak to you later, my friend.
Of course. We will have many opportunities to talk about old times.
And if you use a different guise, he's just like, oh, I'm busy repairing the windmill. Come back later. So, no sense in wasting time with that. But now that we know their plan, we can use it before them. Since it seems the Galeth isn't in the temple, but beneath it. Well, it is in it, but in the core of it, so to speak, rather than just surface access like everyone else gets, which makes sense. I have some theories on this that I'll explain probably closer to the end of the episode. But yeah, it's got to be within the windmill. And this, I think I'm standing in the wrong place. Come on, there we go. Oh, that might be, yeah, that's too far. Ah, I see. I gotta go here. So we see there is a hook there, but he's got the table on it. Conveniently, he's already got this all lined up. So all we got to do, and a unique puzzle for the game, is we get to drag this line that looks like it literally looks like something that was made in Microsoft Paint. But there we go. We have it all hooked up.
This windmill is controlled by a clutch and brake system. If we disengage the brake, the windmill will turn and the power of the wind should lift that stone. I bet that's how a moon accesses the tunnel. Turn that wheel device and the windmill should start up.
as we can see, this predates OSHA, so there is no lockout tagout while he's working on the windmill repairs. Also, fortunately, it seems to, because of the repairs we made earlier by putting the gears in, we're actually able to do this. If we had not, I don't think this would be causing those gears to engage and the clutch to engage and the windmill to spin. Curiously, Ahmed doesn't seem to mind all this commotion or even wonder what's up.
Look at that raging current. Too bad Dutton didn't give you the salmon jumpsuit. Well, Amun did say the water only stops on the Kalos Kalire. So if this is the only way we can get to the inner temple, we're going to have to find some way to stop the flow. We need to fiddle with the plumbing system and stop this water flow. If we could get all the Atlanteans to take a shower all at once. Hell, if any Atlantean just took a shower. Once. Didn't the windmill keeper say that the water pours into the inner temple then drains through this pipe? We're going to have to stop the water from the source. Let's go to the temple and find out where that water's draining from.
And we've actually already seen it. That was the, we saw the water coming out and pouring onto something at the bottom of that pit. And that's what we need to close off. That will cause this to dry up ahead of time, and then that'll make it usable for us. Although, honestly, we should have been able to use it now. I mean, I assume this retains all the capabilities of the basic jumpsuit from Buried in Time, in that it should be, we should be able to use this in space, so it should have an enclosed air supply, etc., etc.
Ah, so where shall I take you now, huh?
So we should be able to just run, like, just dive in there and let it carry us into the temple, but whatever.
The temple.
That will be 10 dromoi, please.
And it seems we've more or less exhausted his travel dialogue, so these scenes should be shorter.
All right, we've arrived. Thank you for your business, eh?
And once again, it's going to be fortunate that there's no one keeping an eye on the temple during the Kalos Kalire, because it means we can go in and fiddle with things again.
Your medallion, citizen? Thank you. Return to your ferry, I will let you through.
Much like the coins, if we give the medallion to him through dialogue, it gets automatically returned to us.
Okay, the lock is draining. Let's go now.
Alright, so let's go and do the thing. I do love the music here too. It definitely underscores the importance of this place, both in terms of the game's plot as well as its religious significance for Atlantis.
Remember what the windmill keeper told us? He said that seawater always pours down into the temple and that the water powers some clockwork device. This must be that flow of water.
And that must be the clockwork device down there that we Can barely make it out.
Now, if there was just some way to stop the flow of water, we could probably get into that secret passage back at the windmill and finally enter this inner temple.
Fortunately, the gaff has a reach of 10 feet.
I can see a shutter gate over that water outlet. When closed, it must block the draining water. But it's too far away to reach. I could be reaching here, but maybe you need to stretch out further to close that gate. Try extending your reach with a long object in your inventory. How about the gaff? No, not giraffe. Gaff.
So we will use the gaff. And boom. Goodbye, city plumbing.
Nicely done, Gage. That should stop the flow of water in the secret passage.
And we can kind of get a better view of what's down there.
Well, now that you stopped the flow of water, let's head back to the windmill and get into that secret passage. The windmill keeper said that the passage leads to an inner temple area.
So, let's go see where it leads.
Where can I take you now?
The windmill.
That'll be 10 Dramoni.
Here it is. Oh, hey, take care now.
And the gaff, by the way, is returned to your inventory, so there's no reason to change our guys at this point. But we will take on the guys of the captain. And now let's try to enter the secret passage again. And once again, Amun will not give any... No fucks will be given. Let's drag a brown noodle over. There we go. Oh, I almost forgot to engage the windmill. Kind of an important step in this process if you actually want to get through the trap door. And notice how, like, last time we had to actually, like, close this up. But this time when we go through, I think it closes automatically because you come back to the windmill. And
Gage,
it's
any
empty.
second they're going to turn that water back on and, well, to cut to the chase, this suit can only be dry cleaned.
Or not empty, but it'll actually be closed. Alright, so now we can see a lot of iconography here, too.
That dais structure in the room's center shows some stunning craftsmanship. This chamber must be sacred since the dais is covered with ornamental bullheads.
Well, there happens to be a ladder here. Otherwise, there's not much to go on in this pit.
If you ask me, and I suppose you just did, the mural is depicting the ceremony that the olive oil woman spoke of. She told us that the Galith floats up on a column of water and imbues the water with healing properties during the initiation rite for the Templars. The pyramid object in the mural might be the Galith.
So we can see it's supposed to come out of here, which would make sense. I guess this is, since they run it through here where the Galith is, it turns it into healing water. Then they capture some of that and put it up in the bullhead thing or udder or whatever on top. We can see here, there's some stairs here. But the entrance is closed, so we won't be getting out there, at least not now. So, I suppose we'll have to go down the passageway and see what else is down here. Here we go.
Gage, the writing on this mural is a variant of Linear A, one of the oldest known ancient Earth languages. I'll try to translate as literally as I can. We are the children of the Earth Mother. Long ago, she lived among us, protecting and teaching our people. Her power and knowledge were beyond measure. Before she left us, she entrusted our priests with the power of life, the power to heal and renew, the gift of immortality. We must honor her memory by always guarding the Earth Mother's blessing.
And some of these symbols look familiar. Like here's the bullhead we see so much in Atlantis. This looks like a Quetzalcoatl or something from Native American mythology. And here we see the lotus, which is, I believe, an important symbol in Buddhist mythology. We'll see these symbols more later.
I assume the pyramid shapes in the mural show the 3 Sosequi artifacts, and that the top pyramid with the Atlantean bull symbol represents the power of life. The inscriptions make no mention of the other 2 symbols.
Another view of the reservoir there. And we got these little lava fire pit things, which actually are animated too. They look kind of nice. Hey, Saros, we'll get to you in a minute, but I will steal your guys. Notice how his back is conveniently turned to us too.
We are the second children of the Earth Mother, doomed to be consumed by her first children, the sun and the moon. As the 2 enemies move through the heavens, both fighting each other for the Mother's power, the world beneath trembles from their terrible might. We know that one day they will come together and cause the dark day that will destroy our city, the Kalos Kalire. We are the second children of the Earth Mother, doomed to be consumed by her first children, the sun and the moon. I assume the pyramid shapes in the mural show the 3 Sosequi artifacts, and at the top, they seem to have incorporated the sun and the moon into their religion mythology. The eclipse of the sun and moon represent the day that the Sorolans and the Quo Thalas battle over Atlantis and destroy the city. Following the assumption that the Atlanteans believed the aliens were gods, the Earth Mother that appeared before the Templars and gave them immortality must have been the Sosequi, posing as their Earth deity. The symbol in the middle of the mural must represent the artifact of life that the Sosequi aliens entrusted with the Templars.
All right, so I think we read all the murals. I thought there was more, but I guess not on this one.
We are the second children of the Earth Mother, doomed to be consumed by her first children, the sun and the moon. As the 2 enemies move through the heavens, both fighting each other for the Mother's power, the world beneath trembles from their terrible might. We know that one day they will come together and cause the dark day that will destroy our city, the Kalos Kalire. Gage, the writing on this mural is a variant of Linear A, one of the oldest known ancient Earth languages. I'll try to translate as literally as I can. We are the children of the Earth Mother. Long ago, she lived among us, protecting and teaching our people. Her power and knowledge were beyond measure. Before she left us, she entrusted our priests with the power of life, the power to heal and renew, the gift of immortality. We must honor her memory by always guarding the Earth Mother's blessing.
That last line there, I think, is pretty important. But yeah, I don't think we'll glean any more information out of these murals, unfortunately. So now let's talk to Saros.
Who are you? Why are you here a day early? No, this was not the plan. Go back. Tell them I will deal only with Padros.
He's got an interesting staff there.
Either he's one of those trendy young Elliot Sinclair impersonators, or Saros is Elliot Sinclair. From the looks of his outfit, I'd say he's an important guy around here. Something about being a Templar allowed him to live until your time. Thousands of years later. He's waiting for Padros, the beggar. Use that, guys.
Okay, that's interesting. It didn't, I don't think it interrupted him. I think it just played the message after. Or, you know what? It did interrupt him because he makes a comment.
Padros. I'm glad to see they agreed to send you. You know, seeing you again brings back the good times we had during initiate training. That is until... Well, I wish I'd had the courage back then to stand with you instead of biting my tongue and grudgingly accepting the Templars' insular views. I was a coward.
Unfortunately, I kind of interrupted myself there, but yeah, we did miss out on Arthur. He makes like an offhand joke about something in the water being responsible for Elliot Sinclair living to our time, and he's not wrong.
Yes, their views were very, insular.
Yes. And you were absolutely right. The Gaelith does not belong to the Templars. It was meant for everyone. What right do they have to determine who should or shouldn't receive its healing grace? And despite great risk to yourself, you stood by your beliefs, even though it would mean at the very least giving up an opportunity you had waited your entire lifetime for.
Opportunity?
The opportunity to commune with the Gaelith, to find out if you were worthy of its most precious gift, eternal life. But now you shall have your chance. I will not stand in your way. I hereby renounce my title of Guardian Templar. I haven't the stomach for it. But before I go, you will need this. It will no longer serve me.
What will you do now?
When I became a Templar initiate, I truly believed the Order was my life's calling. But I now realize that I cannot do the world a service by sequestering the Gaelith from those in need. I have been given a gift, and it's time I use it. I can help others, share with them the teachings of the Earth Mother. Her blessings were meant for all. Your courage has helped me to see this, and now I must call upon my own to find my way. Good luck, my friend.
So, that wasn't especially long, but we got a lot of information from that. More than you would think. Sun disk. Oh, come on. Object analysis, items, sun disk. Come on. Item sun disk, date found, 5th of October, 1262 BC. Well, unfortunately, the game crashed there, which was my fear. I guess, sorry to leave you on a climax, but I didn't save because I was a bad boy and I don't want to redo all that just right now. So we'll see you next week, I guess, and we'll talk about all the implications of what's been going on then. So with that in mind, thank you all for watching and stay tuned for next time and stay safe out there, and we'll see you then.